Hello, all. Hello, hello. Hi. All right. My name's TM Zoids. Just to start the video off, I don't consider myself a big PR agent. I don't consider myself considered a big journalist of any sort or anybody related to any major team of League of Legends. I just wanted to make video and recent response of the East Coast servers, pretty much, and the wave, how the majority of the community works, and Riot being more of a reactive than proactive company. Just getting right things off. Like I said, nothing. I'm not no professional person. Also, with the setting I have, I'm just using my OBS from what I usually stream on. So I apologize. I'm sure it's not the best overlay to make a video for YouTube, but what the hell? This is all I got. So first things first, I want to address that Riot is still a small company. I know that's shocking to hear. You're like, how is Riot a small company? And it kind of boggles your mind. But Riot's only 5 years old. Riot's only game is League of Legends at this time, and retrospect, Riot is very small, and they've grown super fast, really quickly. And I think it's hard for people to wrap that around their head sometimes when they see Riot, giving out these major prizes and, throwing these major tournaments like LCS and the World Championships and having them all over the world and these spectacular fireworks and lights and players and all these people. How is Riot a small company? Well, you have to keep in mind that 5 years, you know, they grew 10 times faster than any other company. In my opinion, I think they grew a lot faster in a shorter amount of time than companies such as Blizzard or Valve or anything to this sort. I could be completely wrong, and I'm sure somebody will call me out on that bullshit, but I think they grew in a shorter amount of time. Um, and kind of got overswamped by, how popular their game got. But and a lot of people say that Riot has all this money and all this jazz, and they should, have a lot of staff, and they should prepare for this. And in retrospect, you have to keep in mind, like unlike Blizzard or any other game, you don't have to buy League of Legends. You just go online, type in League of Legends, you download it, and you play. You play the game. They don't charge you for playing. They don't charge you a monthly fee. They don't charge you for the game. Unlike Blizzard, I'm just using Blizzard because I know Blizzard, more familiar with that. Blizzard usually charges you for a game, besides Hearthstone, of course. They usually charge you for the game, and then depending on the game, such as World of Warcraft, they charge you for a monthly fee of what, $10 to $15. I think it's $15. So, on top of that, they get all this money. Right, their only revenue in retrospect are skins. In retrospect, and you could also buy. Um, sorry. You could also buy champions, I guess, for RP, but mostly you're going to get ward skins and skins for RP, and also have summoner icons now, which is becoming more and more popular, even though some icons you can still buy with IP, but that's besides the point. Everything else in the game, you're pretty much attainable, and you really don't need to spend any money on Riot to be successful in the game. Your rune pages and your runes all can be bought through IP. Yes, it takes a longer time. Your champions all can be bought through IP, which takes a long time. Yes. But some people who don't play don't have the money and play a lot, get a lot of IP really quickly. As you can see up here, I have a lot of IP, but that's besides the point. Getting off track. So, I want to talk about how East Coast server is a big issue right now, and it's big popularity. And this is a big thing that I keep seeing over and over in the community. Like I said, I'm just a general community player. I don't consider myself, like I said, like a journalist. It's the big problem is Riot is more of a reactive company than a proactive company, and it's great. A lot of people appreciate that Riot listens to its community, and if a majority of the community has a problem, then Riot usually steps up and takes the ball and knocks it out of the park. Usually, majority, if it's a champion error or a champion glitch or a glitch on the map or this or that, Riot will focus right in on that and listen to it. There's also things I think Riot needs to be proactive on and not really focus on the community and what the community really wants and be proactive and fix these issues or just follow up on issues that they've noticed and see if anybody's having these issues still and just don't think that automatically it's done. For example, I've made a post on Reddit a couple days ago, and I'm using Reddit as a main source because I figured that's like one of the main pages for League of Legends besides League of Legends website itself for information and where everybody gets obtained their information. I made a post with a video explaining 30 minutes of pretty much pure frustration with Riot Games and League of Legends with the fact that I couldn't get into a queue, the champ select area. I would, load into the game, invite my friends, and, I would start the game. We'd all get into the, estimated time for how long I would get into a game, or champion select, of course. And then my friends would get the queue. It would pop up for them, but it would not pop up for me. I'd be still sitting there waiting, 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 and I did everything. I restarted my client. I rejoined a different lobby. I made somebody the leader. I was the leader. We different game. Like I said, I ran the League of Legends administrator. Somebody told me on my post to Google it. It was been a problem for a year, which is what I'm gonna focus on. But IP Helper seemed to be a problem with the API games or issue with League of Legends and causing issues. So remove it. So that wasn't even on my computer. So eventually, just eventually worked. After being threatened that I've dodged too many times out of queue, not getting into champ select, keep in mind, just dodging as in like I'm keep declining the queue, even though I couldn't see the button. I was threatened by Riot. Well, not threatened. I was warned by Riot that if I dodged too many more times, I could be penalized, and it was just frustrating. And in retrospect, I was told to Google it when I made a post, and this has been an issue for a year. And I'm like, why has it been an issue for a year and still not fixed? Well, it's because it's not a wave of problems, people bringing it up. It's not on the front page of Reddit all the time. It's not a big problem, and it's just not as popular, so it kind of gets thrown aside. But that's not the only thing. The map. Before I get into the main issue, I'm not here just to rag on Riot. Keep in mind, I'm just talking about issues that I think people ignore, that are not in the public's eye right now as being a problem, and just kind of get pushed to the side or not main priority where Riot could pick up and be more proactive. And the map is one of them. We've seen a lot of issues already with the map, or I've seen a lot of issues. One of them being minion block, and you could say it's the champion or just that one rare occurrence, but that one rare occurrence can make or break the game. We saw on the front page of Reddit not too long ago, there was a Thresh getting chased by Master Yi. Thresh flashed over the wall to the Wraiths. I'm mind blanking on what the new name for the Wraiths is. But he was stuck, and the Master Yi flashed over him. They were both stuck. Master Yi's beating him with his little sword. Thresh flays the minions and Yi into the wall. Thresh walks away, and Master Yi is stuck there on the wall and gets killed by, I think it was Caitlyn. I can't recall the video off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure the ADC came by and pretty much killed Master Yi as he was stuck against the wall with the Wraiths and died because of minion block. Also, my friend experienced the same thing. He flashed over the wall to get a kill or secure a kill, and he got pretty much minion blocked by the golems. He couldn't do anything. The only way to get away from the golems is attacking it, and I find that's kind of counterproductive, and the guy got away in retrospect. Also with the map, everybody's like, oh man, we saw a few posts about the map right when it came out, and the map looks beautiful, it's great. It looks very nice, great scenery, and everything's really smooth. And if you actually look at the map, that Riot made this like very apparent that they made everything smooth. If you look at the walls, everything is very smooth, very nice, layered, so things easily can get over it. No clunkiness, no bad areas where you can't flash or you miss a flash, yada yada yada. But there are maps. I don't know if you know anything about the server. You're on the same map. Retrospectively, you're all on the same map and different little servers, little pre-servers, I guess you can call it. And I think on certain maps, it's not always as smooth or as always fixed there. And then I've experienced many times where I've gotten caught on the wall by the Dragon Pit or across from Dragon Pit by the blue buff, or also by a mid lane or even by Baron. And it feels like you get snagged or caught by something like a lag spike, and people are like, maybe you're lagging, maybe you're having an FPS drop at that one rare moment. But it's happened a lot actually recently, and I don't think it's just all of a sudden, oh, I have a one random spot on the map, I'm like stuck and I can't move, and I'm having an FPS drop or um, a lag spike. It seems just too weird to happen so many times by the wall, where it's like, oh, you're lagging. It's here, maybe once or twice, but not always. Which leads me to my next thing, being a more of a reactive, I guess, reactive company. I think it's the community's job also to be on Riot's coattails. When I say coattails, I think they should be on top of issues that they feel like are very important, haven't been really fixed, and do reach the front page, but that doesn't mean that it should just, that's it, it reaches the front page and all of a sudden Riot sees it and fixes it, because that's not always the case, which I'll give you a few examples in a second. So, the East Coast thing is a big thing. Everybody's complaining about ping and all this jazz, and this has been a 2-year issue. And I don't live on the East Coast, so I am not too sure. I live in Central, pretty much in the middle. I live in Illinois, if it really matters. But so I live in the middle of the United States, and everybody's talking about ping issues and lag and packet drops and all that jazz, and it gives a lot of hype. This is where I'm talking about the waves. Everybody hypes up this, and everybody talks about it as the main issue, and it's up at the wave. You're at the top of the wave now, and it's at the peak. And Riot was like, "Whoa, this is an issue. This is really an issue. We're gonna talk about it." And this is where it happens. Riot gives you a response, whatever the response may be, and a lot of people actually like the responses that Riot's been given within 2 years. I think they have, for all the things they said they're gonna address. So Riot gives you a response, and then it kind of dwindles from there. There's not really much follow-up. There are kind of follow-ups now. I see it more and more lately on subreddit. There's a lot of questions about things that were brought up and kind of pushed off to the side all of a sudden. What happened to it? Made it to the front page, and then kind of disappears again. But this is the problem. The community doesn't stay on its coattails about it. See, you post too soon and you get harped on, you get yelled at for some odd reason by the community. They're like, "Oh, well, Riot needs time. Why aren't you giving Riot time?" You post a follow-up post in a month or two, and everybody like loses their mind. They're like, "Oh, you're not giving the Riot enough time. You're just complaining. Blah blah blah. Let them. They said they're looking into it. They're fixing it. Blah blah blah." And then it just disappears. Literally, just like that. Just poof. After that post, everybody's like, well, I'm not touching it, right? And time rolls by, and then 6 or 7 months down the line, Riot gives you a response. Everybody's like, whoa, Riot gave me a response. Oh my God, I'm so happy, blah, 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 blah. And in retrospect, it didn't fix anything. You still have the same issues. You have higher ping now, especially if a patch comes or this or that. And then all of a sudden it rolls again. You're going with the wave. You're going up the wave again. So all of a sudden it seems to be more and more issue. More and more people are experiencing it until somebody makes a post. Somebody makes a post. It's climbing, it's up to the top again, and it's a snowball effect. People are like, "What's wrong with it? Why aren't we getting East Coast servers?" And blah blah blah. We're gonna boycott Riot. We're not going to buy their stuff. We're not going to buy League of Legends appearance. We're not going to do this, do that. And I think besides Riot, like I said, being proactive about it, I think Riot you also, as a reactive company, you need to stay on their coattails, especially if it's something that you're very passionate and true about. You can't just let it keep falling. It's like a snowball effect, like I said, like a wave. You crash it in the wall, and you're like, all right, that wave wasn't too bad. We got through that, and like it doesn't come up again for a couple of months, and that's a problem. And here's a few examples that I can give you right off the bat that we've known issues. One of them, off the top of my head that I can think of, is the Caitlyn glitch. Caitlyn glitch is something we've known for a long time. This is an older glitch. This is not happening anymore. But any pro player, or any player that played Caitlyn a lot could tell you that if you're playing Caitlyn, you can notice that her auto attacks were hitting before her actual bullet. Like there was a misclick. It was just a timing difference, right? Well, that played into a major role. You know, there was a lot of videos about Caitlyn's audio attacks, a lot of complaints on the front page. It wasn't just once about it, but a few times. You know, you saw like Caitlyn's auto attacks are weird, yada yada yada. Why isn't this still fixed? Blah 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 blah. And eventually, you know, you had the video post where it's like Yasuo. The big thing was Yasuo. Yasuo threw up his wind wall, but he was already hit by the Caitlyn thing, even though it was blocked by the wall in retrospect. So, besides that, we also knew about the Aatrox glitch. The Aatrox glitch was notorious for the Gambit thing. If a lot of people recall, Gambit had to remake their game, I believe, against EG. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm bad with the team they were facing. Maybe it was SK. I think it was SK, not EG. I don't know what I was talking about. EG. I think it's SK. So Gambit had to remake the game because they picked Aatrox, and Aatrox was healing every other hit instead of every third hit. So he was healing every second hit. So this was a major thing, and SK recalled for a rematch, and Gambit actually lost the game, and that kind of snowballed things for Gambit into the wrong direction. But that's besides the point. I'm getting off topic. So those are two major glitches. There's been tons and tons of glitches that I think have gone the wayside that the communities complained about before. It's reached the front page and they think that it's all automatically fixed and addressed and issued, and then it comes up in a later patch, and if it doesn't get enough community attention, it just kind of disappears. And kind of you're told to Google it, like I was told with my issue. Oh, this has been an issue for a year. Google it, and I'm like, why? And that's why it's bad for Riot to be proactive or reactive instead of proactive. But it's also the community. If they are more reactive, it is we need to stay on their coattails about things. Another few examples I can come off the top of my head was the Jarvan. Jarvan's ult was still an issue, and there was a post not too long ago about how Jarvan's ult was still an issue and still not fixed to retrospect. How people can slip through it, or if there's glitches or areas wrong with it. And for the longest time, I remember also Fizz posts. It wasn't how long has Fizz been out, and Fizz is Trickster. Multiple times, Fizz would land off his Trickster. If you haven't played Fizz, he would pretty much go up in his pole to dodge anything, and once he lands, he would do damage, splash damage to anything around a small area. And for longest time, if he may be banned, sure, but he wasn't banned now. He's not ever banned. You'd go up on your pole, you'd land down, and he wouldn't do any damage. That was a glitch for the longest time, but it didn't get any popularity until a little bit, and then they fixed it. So I think if you're going to complain about issues, especially the East Coast, server issue, I think that it is our responsibility to go above and beyond and try and stay on their coattails in a retrospectively good amount of time. I'm not talking like, oh, a month to fix an issue, but like I said, I have seen a few things that have been like, are we ever going to see this? Is this a thing now? Sometimes pop up subreddit. For the majority, I think we let things go. We snowball it up to the top, then we go down, and it's just a waving effect. We go in, we go up, and then it goes splashing down, and we don't hear about it again for some issues. And I think that is not a good. And I'm sorry for ranting for about 20 minutes. If you enjoyed, thank you. I'm not going to promote anything. I'm just like I said, I'm not a PR agent. I'm not a spokesman for Riot. I'm not any team. I'm not a famous journalist. It's just somebody from the general community that seems that saw this problem. Feel like this problem needs to be addressed a little bit more and retrospect. And I apologize for having a long video. Thanks all. Bye.